up my December daily. A little bit about me. So this was already on my desk to do because I've been reading a lot for Christmas, and I knew that this was an interactive page that I wanted to complete. Unfortunately, during the Christmas time, I contracted COVID and have been out of my house ever since now until until like yesterday. I wanted to keep my family safe, so I kind of hunkered down at a hotel, and Valentina was here with family and stuff because I was the only one that tested positive for COVID, and my family tested negative. So I'm okay. I'm okay. And so so for this page, we are making a little bit of an interactive book. I read 8 books in the month of December. And so some of them were Christmas and some of them weren't. And so, yes, I've already added these stickers. They're just kind of a thick red glitter thicker. And I have already cut out the outline of the book. This one was just kind of like the classic holiday read, even though so was this one. I have a few other ones. The Holly Jolly Diwali was a holiday read. So you could see like I could have made the big picture of any of these. And I also read The Afterlife of Holly Chase. I listened to One Day in December, and I also listened to The Holiday Swap. So there were a bunch of books that I could have done this one, but I think I just I did enjoy this one. And Christina Lauren is a favorite like romance author of mine, so I was just like, you know what, let me just go with the big holidays. I know this book came out last year, but it's okay. So what I've done, since I already outlined this is going to be a little bit of like a booklet. That's why I have these. These are a little bit shy of 4x6 that I printed. So I just made sure every time I finished a book, I took the same picture in front of my tree. And so we're kind of going to make a little bit of a flip book like this. So they're going to be backed and go from there. And then this one is part of that. And then I have my journaling already done, and that will be underneath there. So that is what we're constructing for my day 22. So other than trying to construct this little book, it should be fairly simple. And we'll do 23. And I do have the pictures already going because these are like the last of the pages I haven't used yet. So 23, I am thinking I'm using this. So we'll just kind of, you'll see all the fast forward footage. So it'll be this with like my staff photo, and I think I'm going to use this as some sort of topper and extend it so that my journaling is there. So keeping 23 very simple. Oh, and I also printed this one. This was the day I got diagnosed after Christmas, and so I'm thinking of just making like using this little piece, A Difficult December, and making some sort of simple page like I got diagnosed with positive for COVID, and like I packed up my stuff and left so that my family can stay safe. So yeah, that's also an idea to finish up the album. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started constructing my little flip book area. And I apologize ahead of time if I still sound a little congested, because I am. All right, so I did print out my journaling on copy paper, and I had it have it on a tilt right there, as you saw, in order to be in the opening of the book itself. So that took just a little bit of lining up properly, and then going ahead and trying to line it up when you add adhesive was also kind of tricky. This whole thing was kind of tricky because you even saw me there. I brought out my like scoreboard, and because this is on a diagonal, I couldn't line it up with the edge, and if I picked a line, it might not have gone directly on it. So I just had to wing it and kind of fold it, you know, with my eye along that edge so that it would create that booklet form of it. So that was a little bit, you know, if you're a precise kind of person, that one had to be eyeballed. But luckily it did. And like I said, these pictures of all the other covers were printed on 4x6, and they just had to be trimmed down maybe like a 1/4 inch on both the height and the length, which was also fine. And then it was sitting there thinking of how do I create the flips. So I always like to have it with like a piece of paper in between it. But I was thinking, do I have it get really bulky and sandwich them, or should I keep them flat? And or I couldn't use washi because it was too hidden for me to line it up properly with that too. So as you see, I sandwich between just regular copy paper, about a 2-inch piece of paper, and I'm just going to have those stacked up and flip the side up. That way it didn't get too bulky at that fold. Because that's what I was really worrying about, is like, how is this going to be sitting in my book? Because like if you recall, I have been trying to keep down the bulk in my album. And thankfully, I will say that I will fit all of 2021 into one album. And so I just wanted to make sure that this one came together quite easily as well. So when I read what I ran into after kind of adhering them down, as you just saw me do with some double-sided tape, was that it was very hard to flip the pages. So here I am with like my 1.5-inch circle punch, and I staggered where I clipped it on each of the pages because there were 3 individual pages. That way there was a place for your finger to kind of grasp and pull over, which worked out perfectly. So I'm glad I thought about that, because I was also going to put like ribbon, like as tabs, or even like tabs, but then those would stick out from the book and I really didn't want that look. So punching out little half circle moons worked perfectly for it. And this is so cute put together. Okay, for this layout 23, it's all about our office holiday party. And I only have really one good picture to use for it. So I blew it up to a 5x7. And so I'm toying between, I really like actually the wreath. So I'm trying to use all of the wreath. So it's kind of going to be something like this. Or just plain white, or I still haven't used this fun paper that I made during prep time, and I do kind of like that. But the thing is, though, it's the photo. So maybe if I printed the photo in black and white, so I feel like this one is the winner, because I could put this here. This one has to be holes on this side, and then have all of this on this side. So let's put you on fast forward and get this one done real quick. Okay, so I'm taking off the like adhesive or like film backing for these acetate wreath circles, and this page kind of morphed as I put it together because I like the way this is looking, and then I'm trying to figure out where am I going to put the journaling. So you saw me remove that 4x6 card because it had the word embracing, and I was like, but I don't like having the word above it because it's not like, I don't want to say symmetrical, but in essence symmetrical. So then I still have these grid papers that I hadn't used, and I thought to myself real quick again was, let's just make it into a flip, and I can use some of those grid spaces for my journaling, and that is what happened. And it worked out perfectly. Like I said, it was going to be a very flat layout, but as I was sitting there thinking of where the journaling is going to go, a flip just seemed like the easiest, most I don't know. There's a lot of flips in my album. It was just like the immediate answer: make a flip, make a flip out. And so that's what I do. And so I will include journaling in there later. I don't think I put it into this video, but at least it gives me like a bunch of squares, 8 squares, to kind of fit a little bit of journaling about my staff and our gift exchange and how well we all work together, and how pretty much everyone has started off as an intern that we've hired from college, which is also nice for us to kind of say. And then our massage therapist, we've actually been patients of hers for 3 years. And when we bought our own practice, we definitely offered her permanent space to be in our clinic full time. And I just love, I see these people all the time. This is our second family. When you're a small business owner, you know, you rely a lot on your staff, and they love us equally as we love them. So it's always fun for the holidays for us to do this little gift exchange, and that is the story I want to capture here on this page. Gail came over for an idea and said to add more gold like they are in the acetate pieces. So I take Heidi Swap Color Shine and brush stroke some gold, and it's beautiful. Okay, this dried nicely. Everything looks great on this side, and the flap opens up. I will do journaling probably on like 4 of the squares, which measure 2.5 by 2. So I'll print those off on my computer about our party and our staff, and little thing about everyone. And this will complete this page as well. So now we'll do, next video we'll do 24 and 25, and probably that last little difficult story page. So the next page will be on this side. So until next time.